What's up guys, welcome back to the next video in learning JavaScript. My name is QT Azani and you guys watching my channel Coriowood. Alright, so in the previous video we have done our object, and we said that the objects are collection of properties. So it means that we have a properties here which is a key value, and this is our function here. So anything that is not a primitive data types, which is string, number, boolean, null, undefined, symbol, is object. So in JavaScript, anything that is not a primitive data types is object. So and the objects are like, even the functions are objects, and the difference is objects you can invoke, but the functions you can invoke. So we're going to tell you guys how, and we didn't go through this one. In the next video we're going to go through the primitive data types, then we're going to continue our discussion of the objects, and we're going to see how we can copy objects, we can assign the objects, and then we're going to go on the map and weak map and the prototypes. So and then we go on property descriptors, which we already gone to the property descriptors already, but we're going to go through that again. So but string, number, we have a boolean, we have a null, and there is another one which I forgot to put it there, is called big int. And what is big int? So the number is numeric data types, which got a 53 bits inside the computer, 1 to the power of 53. And if that number you can, if this number can handle that very big number, then we gonna go on the big int. So anything that the number can handle, then it's gonna go on the big int. So if you guys want, I'm gonna go through all of this. If you guys don't understand any part of this, number, our boolean, our null, string is just literal strings that we have it here. Number is just like a number on, we can go all the way to the power of 53, so we can go all the way to 53 digits. And we have boolean. Boolean is a yes, no, whatever that is logical is yes, no, or 0 for false and 1 for true. Null is something doesn't have a value. Big int, like I said, if the numbers can't handle that one, bigger than anything bigger than the number, whatever can handle 53, then you're going to put it represent by 1n, and the n for the number at the front. Undefined, if you guys we already shown you guys, if any guys put something there that you can define the functions. That, so if you guys creating a function that is not defined, it says undefined. It means you guys undefined, not defined this before. And there is a difference between null and undefined. Undefined is when there is something there, but you guys say you guys missing something like wheels. You guys haven't defined your wheels, or you guys haven't defined your function. It's undefined. But null, it means it's absent, it's not there. And undefined is there. And the symbols in JavaScript, you guys, if any guys want to declare something unique number or hidden something for your files or something like that. But we're going to go briefly on this one again in the next video if you guys want. So we're going to see bit by bit. All right, so in this video we're going to go again on the objects, and we're going to see you guys that objects are things, and that's a clear way of objects are things. And we shown you guys how you guys define your objects, and how you guys gonna go create empty objects with the new, and you guys can put a const, say house, my bike, our house, for example, and you guys can put a new object. You guys can do this. You guys can do this, and you guys can add anything, or you guys can put a const house, and you can do this to start objects, empty objects. You can do this, or otherwise, if you guys so we're going to come here, we have created objects here. This is new to save time, so it's also HTML. It's objects. We define the objects here. So here the objects are things. In JavaScript, objects are a collection of properties, which we said to you guys before. Anything that is not a primitive value is considered object. So anything that is not any of them here, primitive value, is objects, is considered as objects. Even function are objects. Like I said, even functions are. The only difference is that functions can be called or invoked, while objects cannot. So the only difference between function and objects is that functions you can are objects, because with a function you guys can do whatever. In objects, you guys, it has a properties, whatever attributes, it has attributes, properties, and you can put a key values. But the only difference is that the function you can invoke and you can call, and objects you cannot. So how the computers create objects, or like objects like things, and the computer create models of the real world using given data. So we give data to the computer, which is things, to the computer, and the computer creates the model, and which is this model called objects. And each object has its own properties. As we said to you guys, it has events and it has methods. Okay, so properties, as we said to you guys here, that my bike is an object, so bike is a thing. So what is event? Like you guys gonna say, all right, that's, if that's property, then what's event? Event is something happens, like anything in JavaScript is events. Like I'm moving this mouse is event. So if I click is event, if I open something is event, if I am typing something is event. So if you have say car, if you brake, the event for the brake is that the car slows down, stops. That's an event. So when you rev up, or when you press the accelerator, it goes fast. So that's event. When you turn the steering wheel and your car goes left and right, that's event, because you're turning left and right. When you shift a gear, if it's manual, that's event, because the car goes changing gear and goes faster and faster and faster. So anything that is that happens is event with the object. So inside the object, say here we have a bike, and bike have a lot of events here. So if it's got a wheel, and the wheel, if you accelerate, it goes fast, that's event. So we interact with the objects. If the objects happen something to the object. So if you guys go and paint new color, that's event, because you're painting, so you're interacting with the object. So if you guys brake, it stops. If you guys say accelerate, is goes fast. So that's event, because that acceleration is giving pushes the objects to go fast. So anything that happens, say with the house, even with the house, so you two guys turn on the electricity turns on, that's event. If you guys turning the gas or something, like you guys going to bathroom, turning the hot water, that's event, because the water is running now, that's hot water is running, then that's event. Anything in JavaScript, if you guys interacting with the objects, that's event. And with the HTML, because HTML by itself is object, so because interacting with the HTML, and that's objects, and anything happens to the HTML, you guys putting the photo or anything, user clicks the something, that's event. So anything inside the JavaScript that happens, or you guys think is moved, so inside when the user interacts with the objects, that's called events. All right, methods. So what is method? Method is like when you guys having a bike, and your bike's got a tire, wheels, and the wheels has a method. What's the function of that? This wheel runs. And what's the function of the engine? Engine is a method. So it has a seat. That's the function. What's the function of this seat that you guys see on this one? So that's the method. So every property have a method too. So methods represent things people need to do with the objects. They can retrieve or update the value of the object's properties. Say if you go inside the hotel and if you make a booking, so make a booking is a method, because it's got a functions, and if you guys cancel the booking, it has a function. It's be canceling booking, or if you guys doing anything with the hotel, if you guys ordering something in the food, that's a method. Even with the car, you guys changing speed, so that one increases or decreases cars or bikes speed, that's also method. So that's a method. The computers create the real world model when we give them data using our data. So the event, method, and properties of an object all relate to each other, so they're all interconnected. Events can trigger methods, and methods can trigger or update the object's properties. So just to put it long story short, so our objects contain all of this property we already explained. It has an event and it has a method, and the property describes the object. It's got a name, as we said in the previous video. Our house have a bedroom, doors, whatever, the address. Say our bike have a wheels, or other things. That's all properties of our objects. It has a wheel, our color, our going fast, whatever it does, the functionality of the whatever properties it has, that's the properties. And this have events as well, because the wheel moves. and engine moves the car, and that's a method. So anything with the car, it slows down. So with our bike, that our bike slows down, when we brake, the car slows down, that's event. Or the car, when we accelerate, the car goes fast, that's event, because going fast is an event. And the method that our bike changes speed. So when increase or decrease the value of the current speed, the property. So whenever the bike goes fast or slows down, that's a method. So that's a method in our objects, which our object is a bike.